Welcome back to the R.O.A.D podcast. This is part 2 of R.O.A.D's interview with Rashad Smith, an American hip-hop and R&B producer and one of the original members of the Hitman crew. Let's dive back into the conversation.
And the crazy thing is the original version on the Ready to Die had a DeBarge sample. It had a I Like It sample. Right. And then he used a whole different DeBarge joint.
The Chucky Thompson.
No, it wasn't. Right? I Like that was All This Love.
All This Love. Right. My bad.
No.
Correct. Right.
You know, we got to sharpen each other paws on. You know. Right. So,
All This Love. Yeah. Right.
Did Chucky Thompson feel some type of way that you remixed his original? He did the original.
No. That was Blues. That was Blues Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're the ones that did Machine Gun Funk. Shout out to them too.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So wait, did you do both versions of the One More Chance remix?
I did the one with the everybody refers to it as Dropping Science remix, the one with Total on it. Yeah, I did that one also.
Yeah. Why did you do 2 versions?
I told Puff, I was like, yo, I just feel like we just need something more for the club. The first one just feel like it's something just only for, just the radio, but we need something to bounce on the club. We need to, we need all the radio, we need the red alerts to play this one. We need, outside of just the commercial one.
So did you finish the Stay With Me version first?
Yes.
And then
came back in
and still didn't sit right with you?
No, it's not that it didn't sit right. I just felt like I just wanted to bounce. I just wanted the fat boy back. So all you seen is, you at the club and all you just seen is backs, just football backs, just doing that, swaying back and forth. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, that's funny.
So you went digging and you found the what do you call it?
What's that?
Lou.
Yeah, the Lou Donaldson, right?
Lou Donaldson. Yeah.
Yeah. That sample. So you went back.
I always had that album anyway because that album had other samples on it.
Yeah.
And I already knew that Marley used that. Shout out to Marley Marl, right? Mm-hmm. And what's so funny is that the way I programmed that version was trying to be like Dropping Science. I just didn't want to just sample Marley.
Right.
That's, to me, I just felt like that was disrespectful. So I didn't want to do that. I said, I'm smart enough and I can program also, right? So let me chop up the sample myself. And the way I swung the hi-hat, very in your face. And I told Marley, yeah.
Man, that shit made
so Extra P. I remember when that shit, when I hit the streets, that version, right? And Large hit me and was like, yo, he said, yo, you a crazy motherfucker for that. Cause he was like, I hear what you did. You took the bump and bust stop shit and you took that little piece and then you stabbed it. But he said that shit just had.
It had a hop.
It just had like a hop. And that's like I said, I just was trying to just get that bounce. I was just trying to I just wanted to bounce.
When that shit came
bounce.
I was trying to get that instrumental for like a good 5 minutes.
Right.
No lyrics, just straight up play that beat.
Yeah.
Then by the time first things first, it was like, oh.
That's what I was trying to accomplish of it. Because I was thinking about Uptown. Mm-hmm. Not Uptown Records. I was just thinking about like me going to Willie Burgers, standing out there late at night. I got the blunt in my hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ordering a burger. You've seen all the drug dealers. You've seen all the cars, and I always think about like the rooftop or just like you know what I'm saying, the butter leathers and everybody just they back just like to the beat. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to get out of that. I know people gonna watch this and start laughing, but yeah, that's what I was trying to get out of it, people.
So I want to talk more about the One More Chance Stay With Me remix.
Okay.
Because in my opinion, that is maybe the most perfect like hip hop remixes I've ever heard. Like,
yeah, it's so funny because Trackmasters go around talking about they did that record.
And I was gonna.
I don't care. I'm gonna put it out there like that. They can hear this and say whatever. It's really funny because, and both of them is my mans.
Yeah.
I don't feel no way. I feel no way about this. I'm just gonna say it and just be honest, right? Like Tone and Steve Stout went on Drink Champs and they said that it was a part where they was talking about the One More Chance thing, right? I'm just gonna skip to it, and then and Tone from Trackmasters said, yo, there's some kind of discrepancy about, who produced that record. Okay, I put it to you this way, man. There ain't no discrepancy, brother. It's like this. Who got that credit for that record, man?
You did. You and Puff.
Okay. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to take myself out the equation. At the end of the day, Puff produced that record. Put it that way. I know I produced it, right? But at the end of the day, whether Tone can go, or Polk, or Chucky, or whoever else might have added something without me knowing before the final mix, everybody wants to put their claim in. And I got the credit for a reason. I got the credit for a reason, all right? This is not dissing nobody. This is just facts. I got the credit for a reason. And Puff is, like I said, is the master teacher. He is the producer. So, honestly, okay, track masters, okay, tumbling dice, okay, whoever else might have hit a glass bottle with a glass with some water in it and say ding 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 whatever on the record. Puff is the producer. So you can't go out here correcting anybody saying, I did this, I don't know about this guy. It's like the crab in the barrel mentality, because we all know that Puff, if you worked with Puff back then, Puff is the producer. So say what you want. But I understand we're here to talk about me as my involvement in it. But yes, I did come up with that sample for that record. I programmed it. And at the end of the day, Puff mixed it. But whatever turned out from there, that's what it is. And he knew he appropriated that record with the credits the right way. Sean Puff Diddy, he didn't use Diddy, but Sean Puffy Combs and Rashad Smith of Tumbling Dice. That's how that movie went. That's how the credits rolled on that movie.
Right.
Straight up. That's it.
And you say this too because of your history as well. Because
Absolutely.
you were involved.
I'm not going to take away from myself and tarnish my legacy for no producer out here.
But you've also you've played the position on a lot of other records, like even me bringing up Jodeci or remixes, where you're saying I had a hand in that, but I'm not going to take credit for any of that shit because in the end you weren't the main kind of producer on that record. You may have helped it out or added something, but that doesn't necessarily give you the claim to take responsibility.
And the reason why I'm saying, and I'm not trying to contradict myself, but I'm just saying, Puff, at the end of the day, no matter how much you could turn fluorescent colors telling your story about you producing the record, regarding myself, Tone, Polk, or whoever else, Puff is the producer, right? Puff is the producer. He hired us, right? He hired people for sessions and for our expertise. He's coming to us for our expertise in the hopes of he gets what he needs to deliver that record to Arista, Clive Davis, or whoever he had his distribution with, right? So, but I can tell you for a fact that I am the one that came up with that record, okay? Both remixes that you hear, the hip-hop remix, the Stay With Me one, and that's that.
Yo, roadies and roadies for life. You already know that we rock heavy with DJ City. It's our go-to record pool to download the latest music, edits, and remixes for our DJ sets. So now, Road listeners can join DJ City for only $10.
$10?
Only $10. That's almost 70% off the first month. Make sure you scan the QR code or click the link in the description or go to djcity.com/offer/road to jump on this great deal.
Was that the first time you heard that was on Drink Champs? That claim?
No. It's rumored. It's around. It's as they say, it's around the campfire, and that they did the record, that they produced it. But like I said, I'm not gonna tarnish my legacy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as it stands, you look at that credit. It's already etched in gold.
I mean, how is your relationship with Polk and Tone?
When I see them, it's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah, it ain't no beef. I don't have no beef. I don't know if they got a beef with me, you know. But I'm a grown man, bro. I don't have a beef over something is your opinion against mine. I can care less.
But you've worked with track masters.
Of course.
Yeah.
Steve Stout used to manage me. And I was, at one point in my career, I was trying to be a part of their collective.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I just thought, joining forces and uniting would be United Master, right? No pun intended. But I thought that would have been so cool, right? Super friends. Like we all, I got my crew, they got their crew. But I guess they just didn't see it that way. Steve Stout used to say, I would love to continue managing you, but these guys don't like you.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna put it out there. That's what was told to me. This is what Steve Stout said to me back then.
When did he tell you that?
No, he was telling me that during the duration of our working together. You know what I'm saying? And
this was like,
and I respect. Listen, and I respected it. I respected it because I was like, wow. I was like, really? I was like, okay. I was like, I don't understand because I'm getting a different impression when I see them. We all lived in Staten Island together in this one building, back then, and then Wu-Tang used to live in this building as well, and man, the vibe was always good. I didn't feel any like I don't fuck with this guy kind of vibe, but. At the same time, you just never know. Maybe they didn't think it was a good fit. Maybe that's what Steve was trying to interpret to me. But I could tell you for a fact that I was trying to put my best foot forward in all my efforts to let's. I used to even come and just give Poke records out of my collection. Be like, yo, maybe you should sample this. You working on Nas? You working on a bunch of stuff. Here, take this sample. Take these records. I show him the sample. Whatever. I don't know what happened to that stuff or whatever, but listen.
Did Steve Stout tell you that after you helped with the If I Ruled the World?
It was during this time.
It was like 96.
Yeah, he just. I just felt like with Steve was a very discomfort and maybe a conflict of interest at this time to work with me and them. You know what I'm saying? Those was his boys. That's his clients, right? I came to him after, but he tried with me, right, for a bit, for management, and just
You think it was just maybe a little competitiveness?
I don't know what it is, man.
Because
I just put it this way, I didn't understand, because again, my efforts were only just to be the super friends, just unite, man.
Yeah.
I just thought. How much bigger, that it could have been to have an association with Tumbling Dice. I thought that shit was dope because I was already popping.
Yeah.
I was doing my thing.
Well, on paper, when I look at the history, the
it was
resume,
hand in hand.
It looks aligned,
flawless. Yeah,
because even with LL Cool J's Loungin', you did the original I'll Be Sure.
Yeah.
And then they did the
remix.
The remix, which was the
Who Do You
Love remix.
Right.
So I thought it was just you're remixing, with the Hitman, Chucky Thompson, the Blues Brothers, and then Tone and Poke.
Yeah, and shout out to them, man. I'm not saying anything, to badmouth them or anything. I'm not even on it like that. My thing is, I like to just tell the truth, and if you're asking me about that time period,
it's a mystery a little bit.
You just gotta put, you gotta let, you ain't gotta tell everything, but let some things be told, bro.
But it's 20 years and it's still a mystery. It's still there's no clarity on it. That's a little odd, right?
I don't even know that, man. I don't even, and I think that they don't even like to talk about it because maybe they felt like they should have been credited for it.
Oh, for one more chance.
Yes, and so maybe they don't even like to talk about it, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm never gonna downplay my shit. Never, for nobody. It's been too much of that. And as we talked about this in the beginning from the other projects, how much more am I gonna accept and take? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's it, man.
On the One More Chance record, you said that you started off the record with the Phaso, that idea. Now, something's been floating around on the internet that there's a Phaso
reimagined.
Reimagined.
Shout out to my man DJ Flip Out.
Yeah, DJ
Flip Out. Yeah.
So Flip Out,
Big Breakfast. Big Breakfast.
Reimagined.
Right, and then he reached out to me and he shot it to me first before he kind of put it out there. and then we collaborated on it together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's
That's amazing.
It's out there right now. Yeah, so the original idea is out there right now, and people love it.
Yeah, I don't even know how it sounds.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Sounds dope.
Okay, thank you, brother. Well, it's coming from you. That's
But that's the original envisioned version.
okay.
That's the
okay.
Big Breakfast remix.
Yes.
That's what we call Flip Out. Big Breakfast.
Yes, Flip Out is a good guy, man.
what's up.
Shout out
That's
to
great.
Flip Out.
So wait, I wanna be like a fly on the wall.
Sure,
In this
like I was.
Yeah. In
Right.
this one more chance session.
Sure.
So you go to the studio. Where did you record it?
Hit Factory.
The Hit Factory.
Rich Diwali. Shout out.
You sampled it. You programmed it.
Programmed the whole thing.
And then were you there when Biggie laid his vocals?
Absolutely.
He had to rewrite everything, right? It was a
Absolutely.
completely new song.
But he didn't write anything.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I was right there.
First things first.
I was right there.
So the rap came 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and then how did you guys know what the chorus or the hook was going to be?
I think Faye. Well, people that know Faith Evans,
Right.
They call her Faye. So Faye and
Mary?
Puff.
Oh, okay.
No, Puff was figuring that out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Because like when I think of One More Chance, like from a consumer, from like
Sure.
listening to it, that was our introduction to Faith Evans to a certain degree.
Oh yeah, I
Like
was
our
around.
first
I was
time-
around for them sessions too.
Yeah. Oh, for the Faith Evans album.
Oh yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, right there.
So
A lot of them records, man. As a matter of fact, not One More Chance. Can't You See? That's me also.
really,
Yeah, by Total.
can't you see?
You can
What
tell,
you
man.
do
You can
for
hear
me.
that.
Yeah.
You can hear the drum program. You can hear the. If you listen to the beginning of the hip hop remix of One More Chance, Stay With Me, but the remix though, you can hear the drums and the accents, and it's
So Can't You See? Puff came to me with that sample. He said he didn't know the name of it. He kept describing it to me, but he kept saying doom doo doom doom doo doom, because I guess
You
it
didn't
was
know that
probably
was James Brown?
no. He knew it was James Brown, but he didn't know the name of the actual song to tell me what.
Okay.
Yeah, but so funny enough, I knew what he was talking about, and so he knew how he wanted it. I just went in there and just did what I had to do, man. And so, I mean, there was a few things that I, like the intro, how I wanted the intro, like that's me. And I mean, pretty much it's just a loop, right? I mean, but but it's just the feeling
how
of,
triggered and stuff like that.
right, it's just that, see, Puff, no, hold on.
Yeah.
Puff can interpret that feeling to you on I know that sound, anyway, pause, but he could tell you, pardon me, man, he could tell you exactly how he wants that to sound, right, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, he big drums, right, like it just basically like foot stomping, like boom boom bam. You know what I mean, like just. It just has to knock, right? And he knew once he get it to the engineer, he could get it, going through compressors and all of that stuff. He knew he can get that to sound bigger than what it is, right? But
I mean, the major part of that song to me that hits are those keys. That layer,
absolutely,
the bass line.
That's Chuck.
That's Chuck.
That's Chucky.
Because when you hear that kind of like, you're like, oh, the sample, that's dope. And then you hear it creates like another layer, another depth to that song.
Sure, yeah.
And because it's such a hypnotic song.
Yeah, and then my old, not label mate, I shouldn't say, my group member, Terry Robinson, wrote that record. Yeah. And I ended up doing more songs on that album, which was fun. People loved all the songs on that record.
Is it you that wanted Total on the hip hop remix of One More Chance?
No, that's Puff.
That's Puff.
That's Puff. Yeah, Puff. Like I said, man, Puff is Quincy. He's Quincy Jones.
Really?
Yeah, he's Quincy Jones, straight up.
So this Biggie, the One More Chance remix, this comes out, and I think it's one of maybe Hype Williams' best videos ever, and this comes out, and what's your relationship with Biggie, like working with Biggie?
So So I was still good with Big at this time, right? But we're gonna get into that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good. I mean, around this time too, we worked on Young G's as a demo.
Yeah. Oh wow.
We was good because we was from the same neighborhood. I lived right down the block from him, and yeah, it was still good.
It was still all good.
It was still all good. Yeah.
And then I'm segueing into, I guess, is this the turning point? When did you? Because initially you were supposed to produce the Doin It, LL Cool J record. That was initially for Biggie, right? The Grace Jones Jamaican Guy sample.
Yeah, my Jamaican Guy. So Big's working on his second album. There was no budget yet.
Life After Death.
Life After Death. They were already, kind of premeditating what was going to be the first single. And Big came to me with all these ideas. He was like, yo, I love your production. We've been working for a minute. And I came to his house and had this conversation with him. Sat on his bed. He was still living over there on
Gates.
Yeah, right in the hood, in the sty. And
St. James.
So, C's in the room, a whole bunch of, everybody's in the room, between the kitchen and his bedroom, whatever, right? So he sat me down and he said, yo, I want to work on these records for my next album, but I want the R&B.Rashad sample to Night and Day. I want My Jamaican Guy. And I think it was a couple of other ones. It's not coming to mind right now. Went home, gave me the assignment. I started working on the records. I said it took me about 2 days. Called him on the phone. I played some of it on the phone. That's incredible. Come and bring me the cassette. Bet him back on St. James. Pass him this cassette. Now, at this time, things started getting a little, rough for me. I started spending too much money. And, it was a little tapped out, and on funds. So, but I mean, not that work wasn't coming in, but I just, it was a little dry patch. And, at that time, I thought Puff could have just gave me at least a little deposit on it, right? And, which was promised, but it just never happened. I had this guy behind you in my wife at the time, stomach, right? So so she was pregnant.
You're a potential father, right?
Right. No, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. And
it's a lot of pressure.
Right?
Yeah.
Need money, doctor bills, all kind of stuff going on, expenses, taking care of my mother. And I'm like, Puff, man, I really need you. He's like, yo, well, I don't have a budget. I'm like, yo, but just make something happen. Give me a deposit. Because I'm like, yo, I got to, I got to eat. And I got to take care of, a kid on the way. All right, just hold it. So, shit getting a little rough. I'm doing sessions. I'm making a little more than money, but it's still, but I needed the big payoff. I needed some bread, right? So, and I knew what I was going to get at that time if he would have paid me, right? So time goes on.
Were you looking for an advance, or did he owe you money?
No, I mean just an advance. I mean, if you're saying you're going to buy the track, I'm expecting to. That's how it was back then. It was like, if somebody wants you to hold a beat for them, and if you're serious, then you're gonna cut a check.
Yeah, that's your currency.
There you go. Okay.
If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer this. Typically, what would have been the down payment for like holding these two tracks? Like, which the R&B.Rashad sample and My Jamaican Guy sample?
So I would have, right. So at that time, I'm still getting my feet wet. So at that time, it was like 15 grand, right?
For both?
No,
each.
That was 15 grand a piece.
Right.
All right. So I would have made 30 grand off just those two, right? If they would have got placed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I just, in my mind, if you couldn't come up with half of the 15, the 7.5, right? On each one, right?
As a courtesy, right?
Yeah, but I've been working there for so long, and we've made some hit records. I figured, hey, this is Bad Boy. What do I know? I don't know what their financial thing is, and as a businessman, it makes sense. It's like, why I can't just give you some money and there's no budget, like, yeah, I like you, but I can't, not that Puff wasn't in a position to say, here, just hold this and I'll just get it back from the, when the budget is allocated.
Yeah.
I'll just get it back from there. But I just think that they weren't thinking of being considerate at that time. And, when your back is against the wall, you're like, what am I supposed to do?
Hey, yo, what's good? This is the R.O.A.D podcast, Reflections of a DJ. We're here in New York City, and we have invaded the Sound Collective. Now, I want to explain what the Sound Collective is. I got my man Lefty from the Sound Collective here. Lefty, thank you for having us and hosting this beautiful studio for us. Exactly what is the Sound Collective here in New York?
Modern, state-of-the-art facility with tons of production gear. And one side of it is you can be a member and you can come here and pay monthly to use the rooms and the gear and sign out time in our space. We have a state-of-the-art studio. We have all these production stations, DJ stations, instrument practicing rooms and such like that.
And you also teach. You have classes and sessions, right?
We have intensive programs, short-term programs that people can come and take Saturday classes on DJing, production.
There's kind of a community building within where there's DJs, producers, musicians.
Up and coming producers, people honing their craft and learning, and DJs and all these things. And they come here and practice, and we have all the new gear, so they come and check that out and get familiar. And a lot of DJs will come in from out of town being like, let me get a day pass so I can just get a refresh on the 3000s and the V10.
And what's great is that a lot of our guests, everyone from Clark Kent to the technician to Camilo, they come in here and they're just like, holy shit.
You want to play with all the gear, man? Yeah.
I didn't even realize this, but you guys have studio spaces where people can do live streams and they can do their Twitch streams.
Yep. We got a whole green screen set up already, multicam, full on switcher. We also do a lot of events here. We're bringing a lot of outside talent, organizations. We got a big event coming up with DJ City, Beat Source, and Serato.
That's part of our family.
Yeah. We did a big one last year with them. We got another one coming up.
For our listeners, is there any way we could hook them up with a deal, or if they put in a R.O.A.D podcast code?
Yeah, tell me about it. What else do you have in vision for this deal? It sounds like we're well on our way. Why don't you tell them?
You're working with us where they can type in a code for R.O.A.D.
Yep.
And they'll get a month free, right?
Yeah, on our online platform. We have a whole online platform with masterclass style education.
Nice.
Different categories and everything, instruments, drums. And then we have these things that we're launching right now called Pro Paths. So you can choose, if you're a producer, you can take the Ableton Pro Path, the Logic Pro Path, Serato Studio. Goes through a wide variety of knowledge besides just stuff in that skill set and discipline.
So our R.O.A.D listeners, if you're in New York, you can check out their facility. You can do a day pass, a week pass, a monthly pass. You can check out their site. You have access to all the education online.
Soundcollective.com. We also have a YouTube channel that has some of our content from the educational courses, and all of our events are live streamed and put up there.
I hope we can come back here and use your facilities again.
Looking forward to it.
Shout out to Lefty and the Sound Collective. Thank you so much.
So I always had I had a relationship with Chris Lighty, excuse me.
Yeah.
And he said that, he's working on LL's new album. And do you have any beats? Yeah, I got beats. Sure. Come up to the office. Go up to the office. Couple of tapes on me, cassette tapes on me, playing joints. But on one of the tapes, some of them big records was on there. Right? He picked some of the beats I had. He picked a few of those beats that I kind of bespoked for him, right? And he was like, all right, cool, just put that one to the side, put that one on the side. And then, ding, ding, the big beat came on. I stopped it. He was like, yo, whoa, what is that? I was like, oh, shit. I said, I can't, because that's for Big. I'm holding that for. And mind you, I haven't gotten paid, and I don't see any serious inquiries at this point for those records. But I still, out of respect, Big kind of, he gave me those ideas.
Yeah.
So I still have to be respectful until he says I'm good on those beats. So I stopped it. So he's like, no, let me hear that. I'll let you hear it, but I can't sell it. Play it. Go Brooklyn, whatever, all that shit I put up in there. And lo and behold, he was like, I need that. The lounging record came on. He's like, I need that.
Wow.
and it's a couple other beats. I said, whoa. I said, you know what? Let me get back to y'all. He said, how much is Puff gonna pay you? Disclose the information to him. He said, I'll double that per each beat. Now, anybody that's listening to this, you tell me, what the fuck would you do? I'm not saying that I wasn't loyal to Big.
Right.
But I just couldn't, I couldn't wait no more. And I wasn't gonna go to Big. My pride was like, I couldn't go to Big and say, yo, man, I'm fucked up right now, I need some bread, right?
But do you look back?
But hold on, hold on, before you even say any of that.
Okay.
Here's the wild shit. I called back Chris. I said, let's do the deal. Okay. Contract's getting sent to the lawyer. I got my first half. I'm good now. I'm okay. I can breathe a little bit. Guess who calls me the day that check hit my account, that I got the check? Guess who called me?
Big.
The notorious B.I.G. Yo, man, I'm ready for that beat now. I think our budget is open.
Jeez.
Now, I'm about to shit my pants and piss on myself. Because in the back of my mind, I have to tell this man, them shits is gone, my man. Breathe. Yo, big ass holding beats, right? You did what? Yeah, I sold them beats, man. But go get my shit back. How much they give you? I said, yo, you know, they you know, I'm nervous. You know, they doubled. Man, tell them I need my shit back. Get my beats. That was my first single. So, Big was so mad. He hung up the phone on me, right? Me and my wife at the time was sitting there like, we looked at each other like, oh shit. I think my son right there was, her nerves was bad, so bad that he was rolling in her stomach, moving around like, yo, something ain't right out there, you know?
Yeah.
And he called back. I don't even know if I should be saying this shit, man. But I put it, God, man, shout out to Big and his legacy and the family and everybody sees and everybody. God bless you, man. Big call on that answer machine and said some things. It was bad. It was really bad. Like, basically, I needed to get the fuck out of Brooklyn.
Wow.
Because it was going to be bad, bro. Like, he was mad. Then Puff calls me. Right? After the answer machine. Yo, man, I'm hearing you sold that beat, man. Sold them beats, man. You know that was our record, man. Yo, you need to go get that shit back. I'm telling you, you need to get the fuck out of Brooklyn, man. I said, Puff, it's too late. I can't, contractually, I can't do that. Sorry. Big never fuck with me ever again after that. He didn't want to see me. As a matter of fact, one time I was in my Range Rover. I was on Fulton Street, closer to Flatbush, and him and D-Rock was in they car and they whip, and they see me pull to the side and see me and my wife on the side, and just they pulled over right diagonally or right across the street, and Big and them was looking at me like, man, you know I got to drop on you right now if I want to.
Jeez.
I was shook. But nothing happened. I'm admitting this shit now as a grown man, right? Because I was young. I was still in my 20s at this time. So, but you know, street shit, right? So, but I was shook because I was like, damn, like they could run up on me right now, right? And they would. I don't think they would did nothing to my wife, right? But they would probably drag my ass out and fuck me up. But I just felt. I'm saying all of this to say that I felt so bad that I was pushed to that. And honestly, it was really, if I had to, which I don't think Big understood, that it was Puff's fault. Now, I'm not talking bad about Puff, but I would never talk bad about Puff, but I'm just saying.
You stating it what it is, you know what I mean?
just all honesty on the table, it's just that it was a thing where Puff, I felt like could have just made that happen, right? Something. I don't care if he would have just gave me $2,000, $5,000, something just to hold me down. I wouldn't entertain that with LL because out of loyalty.
Yeah.
But moving forward, the one thing I always think about, we know Big is the most incredible lyricist, right? He's one of them. But do we know, I think everything happens for a reason. Whether if that situation panned out that way, that how do we really know that record would have done well for Big?
As a first single.
Right. Right? It could have just been a good album cut, but we don't know if that would have been as big as Doing It.
Yo.
Okay.
Damn, I'm gonna just say this. It said "Go Brooklyn" on it. He wasn't gonna fail on that one.
Okay. But guess what? Guess what's so funny?
It's hard to say.
Dude, it says "Go Brooklyn."
See, so no, here's the now. I love watching y'all debate about it. Go ahead. And
Yeah.
He would have repped on that, man. He would have repped. Oh God.
But the Doing It record with LaShawn, right? And that the remake of her original
Wild Thing.
Yeah.
Wild Thing.
Right.
It's Doing It, the LL
I'm
Cool J.
gonna clear that up too.
Well,
but go ahead.
The LL Cool J and LaShawn record of Doing It is, to me, a perfect record. The way it sounds as is. So it's almost like
Identical in a way.
well, it's almost like the perfect record. And I remember hearing the record and being like, yo, why the fuck it says "Go Brooklyn"? And then the way they tied it in the hook. I represent Queens. She was raised out in Brooklyn. It was like,
Well,
all right, that kind of makes sense.
let me tell you something.
but it
So
was a perfect
so
record.
there's a few things about Doing It, right?
Yeah.
When LL first got the beat, I was going to take out the Go Brooklyn part because I only put that in there because that was just how I felt. Like, that's the one thing about
It
me
sounded
making.
perfect.
Thank you. I mean, that's the thing about me back then when I used to make beats. I mean, well, I'm still making beats, but when I was making beats at that time, I was always thinking about what would grab the MC or what would grab the what would you got to give them something to kind of
latch on to.
yeah. And I was like, okay, Brooklyn rapper, I'm from Brooklyn, I just feel like this would be perfect to just be kind of a kind of a guideline, right? So I was going to take that out for a Queens cat, you know what I'm saying? He said,
stabs are hard,
he
too.
said, thank you.
Gotta get.
Yeah, all the Bismarck, the Bismarck stuff. And so
Crazy.
I'm thinking like, okay, let me take that out. But LL was like, no, I'm going to work around this.
Yeah.
See, so that's the beauty of it. And it was our collectively our idea because we was like, yo, and because I said it in the studio, I was like, remember that Wild Thing record? Oh yeah. So I had the joint on me. As a matter of fact, because I used to bring like 2 crates of records with me.
Yeah.
Every time, even when I even had the beat done, just if I just want to cut something up or whatever, just kind of just have as a good line of reference. And I played that and was like, yo, why don't we just get her?
Yeah.
She's in the family, right?
I'm curious because I know my Jamaican guy. I know like Biggie's Jamaican. The Brooklyn chant in the background. I feel like I kind of wonder what Biggie would have done to that record.
That's everybody's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would have assumed that he would have probably interpolated the chorus, the hook of my Jamaican guy to a certain degree.
Who
of
knows,
Grace
man?
Jones.
Listen, we can.
We
We can speculate and imagine a million one things. But the man was a genius.
Yeah.
I want to say also, man, ending that one off, man, that I really, it's really sad that I didn't really, before his passing, man, that we never gotten a chance to fix that issue, man. I tried, man, and Big just was, he's like, yo, man, don't bring that guy around me. Like, I can't fuck with him. He felt betrayed, and I can understand from his standpoint how he must have felt. You know what I'm saying? But I just
He didn't know all the circumstances, so I guess he would have probably.
man. I really wish I could have spoke to him more in detail to say, bro, it wasn't. I really needed the help, and I could not hold off any longer.
Yeah.
I you know, but then his thing could have been, well, why couldn't you just show him any other thing? Why did you have to show him that? And I understand that. That's a legitimate argument, right?
You know, like the beauty of like business done well is like a great middleman.
Sure.
And I think what was missing was a great middleman. Was a great if you, I don't know who was your manager at the time.
Right.
If you had a manager.
No, I was just well, it was supposed to it was supposed to be Puff at this time.
Supposed to be Puff. So like what Puff.
But that didn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, because as a manager, the initial thing I would have done would be like, let me contact Puff and Biggie right now and let them know that LL accidentally heard these records with Chris Lighty and they have an interest in it.
Let me tell you something. In hip hop, it ain't no accident. As far as they're concerned,
right?
It could have truly been an accident, but
it was like you fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. So it ain't no accident.
But you know what? That's LL's biggest record.
Well, he said I just seen him recently on
it's platinum. It's platinum. You know,
he said more than platinum.
No, it's not. It's way more than platinum.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't tooting my own horn, but yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, like
record.
Rock the Bells is his signature record. It's like everybody knows him for Rock the Bells.
No, but he's got
his biggest hit.
No, but Marley, I can't, man. Listen, Marley Marl did. Mama said, "Knock you out."
Yeah,
brother.
but Doing It was.
Are you kidding me?
Doing It across the board, man. It's,
oh man, shout out to Marley Marl, man.
But the thing is, like, it's look, LL's career is like insane because he's relevant in the '80s and in the '90s and in the 2000s. But like that,
But he does every interview, and when they ask him about what's his favorite record out of his catalog, he will say "Doing It."
it's a perfect record.
Yeah.
I think it's one. It's a perfect record.
But guess what? Whatever the process was on making that record, and even though there was some things that I wish could have panned out a little differently, I'm still appreciative of the process of it all. I have to reiterate that and stress that, bro, because I done been through hell and back in this business. And let me tell you something, man. I appreciate all the bad shit that happened to me because I grew from it and made me stronger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I came back out on top, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I had to learn.
It didn't stop there. Keep going, keep going.
The funny shit is like there was a part of me that was wondering like, because I remember at that time in the '90s there were like beats getting sold to two different people at the same time. So I was wondering the ultimate shiesty move.
Oh man,
the ultimate shiesty move would have been to let Big make the record and not tell him that it was sold.
No, man, I try to live honorable, man.
Yeah.
Especially as a Muslim, man. I try to live very honorable, man. And I don't think that would have been the process for me. But yeah, I mean, if I was grimy and I just didn't care, then yeah, probably I would have done that. Oh, but it was so funny that I have sold beats twice or maybe 3 times to people. Now, I know that sounds maybe a little contradicting, but no, it wasn't the actual same beat. It might have been the same drums that I programmed, and then I just repackaged it as a different way. So it's just more just being creative, origami, you know? Like, you know, I got the same piece of paper, but I know how to make a bird. Now I can make a bear for you. I can make a shark, you know, and I can still sell it to you.
So around this time with like Biggie completely irate and upset with you, did you leave Brooklyn or you stayed?
Oh no, I ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere?
Nah, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I was shook, but you know,
there's levels.
Yeah, there's levels to it too. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to poke no chest out. It was just that, you know, I'm living in Fort Greene projects, you know, or in the Fort Greene area vicinity, and he's in Bed-Stuy, which is with neighbors, and you know, it's just like it's a respect thing. You know, he knew people I know people he know, and that's that. You know, we'd leave it at that. But it wasn't. I mean, yeah, it could have pretty much went down. He could have whooped me out, but you know, fold me up. But it was just at the end of the day, man. I just think that he was so disgusted with the situation and felt disrespected. I just think he just left it alone. You know, which, listen, man, if I was in his shoes, I would feel the same way, man. Honestly. Right. Yeah, honestly, man.
There just needed to be some type of communication, right? Earlier on. That was
God bless him, man.
What's good, everyone? This is Neek from Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast. Whether you're just discovering the R.O.A.D podcast or a day one listener, if you've been loving the content or want more, here's your chance to support the pod. Get closer to the action and unlock exclusive content by joining our Patreon. This is for loyal listeners who want early access to new episodes 3 or 4 weeks ahead, your name in the credits of every video episode, and access to our exclusive R.O.A.D edit packs. Now, for the hardcore supporters, we've got our Tier 2 Rowdy for Life subscription for just $10 a month. This is an all-in package. You'll get everything from Tier 1 plus a monthly bonus episode, early access to our R.O.A.D 10 and R.O.A.D Talk interviews, behind-the-scenes content, our In the Crate series, along with exclusive unreleased content. This is your chance to support the podcast and get more of what you love. Join the family today at patreon.com/R.O.A.D podcast. Check the link in our descriptions. We appreciate you. Let's keep this journey going.
God bless him.
But at this time, your credits are going crazy. Like in 96, 95, 96.
Even before then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
with the Lyrics to Go remix. And
Lyrics to Go remix. And I mean, you had, Beats, Rhymes, and Life's The Hop. You had a hand. I kind of wanted to know where your connection and where your involvement with Tribe Called Quest and like the Midnight Marauders, you being on the cover, where did that come from? Like, how did that
so I knew so I grew up around Tip also because I half of the good portion of my life was in Queens, so I knew Tip, from back in the days. I knew Fife, really close with Fife, and I knew Ali, right? And this is like high school days, and so I was always around them. As a matter of fact, I remember the day that Tip was at Mr. Waltz at Music Factory on Jamaica Avenue, and he was like, "Yo, we about to get signed today. I'm just waiting for Fife to get over here right now. We're gonna jump back on the train and go sign our deal."
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And I walked him to the train. Me and Mr. Walt walked Tip, and when Fife got there, we walked them to the train, and it was like watching a movie. It was like they was going down the escalator. Was that at Parsons? I think it was either at Parsons, and it was going down the escalator, and all we know was like smoke came up, and next thing you know, they was Tribe Called Quest. It was so funny. Next thing they were going to go sign their deal, but yeah. So I was always cool with them. Africa, shout out to Africa, Mike G. It's so funny because again, I was always like the fly on the wall. I was a Forrest Gump within that Native Tongues crew, right? Dilla, and this is my days of like me and my cousin Sonia was hanging out and trying to dance and be at all the clubs and we just meeting people and we just being around people and we just trying to just
Shout out to Sonia.
Shout out to Sonia. And we all trying to just insert ourselves in the music business some kind of way, right? So I always had that relationship with them, and yeah, man, I was at studio sessions for the first album for Tribe.
Wow.
Second album. Wow. Third album. Fourth album. Always, we at the studio tonight. We at Battery. We at Calliope Studios. I'm up in there. Sometimes I had no money to get on the train, I had no money to eat, but we up in there all day. If somebody had a hero, whatever, Turkey Hero, we all taking a piece. We stealing from stores.
That's real, man. That's
what I'm saying? So Brooklyn shit, New York shit. You know what I'm saying? So we was having fun. But
so they were hearing your stuff like while they were making their stuff.
And they was knowing about me trying to make beats and so it was the vibe, man. It was like. Yeah.
And also, these are the guys that, you're doing the shopping, the record shopping, the conventions and all of that. So they're homies.
Yeah. And me and Tip used to go, me and Tip went to, and Large Pro and Juju. We used to go.
Juju, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nuts.
Yeah. Oh, I got a story about the Beat Nuts also with Lester. I say Lester with Psycho Les, but I known him from we knew each other since we was like 14, 15 years old.
He was was he Corona?
He was in Corona.
Yeah.
I know we jumping around a lot.
That's all good.
Hold on, but while I'm right here with Les. So the first time I met Les, there used to be a music factory at the Deuce, 40 Deuce, 42nd Street. Lester was the dude, the bag check guy when you came in, because I was in there buying Ultimate Breaks and Beats or the Paul Winley breaks, right. and Les was working in there. as a kid, so I met him, and me and him actually kind of did like a little group together. Me and him was working together. Yeah, me and Les was trying to do something. This is way before Beat Nuts and all that shit.
So anyway, you was rapping with him, or you was making the
kind of sort of. Les was the rapper and the producer. I was trying to rap back then. I don't know what I was thinking about me trying to rap back then, but anyway, it was funny. But yeah, we was both trying to do something together. And I remember the first time I went to Left Rack, the guy that worked at that music factory, I'm trying to remember, I think the guy's name was Lenny or whatever, but not Breakbeat Lenny, but
right.
Another Lenny dude, but he was like a business guy, and I think he had some ownership inside that location. But moving forward, he took to me, and he knew I was always coming in there buying records, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I got records, I got equipment at the house." This man had an 808. Wow. He had other rolling machines. He had keyboards. He had the 106, and he was like, "Yo, I live out in Left Rack." He was like, "Yo, you could come out." Me and Les was like, "Word?" We went out there. I had records back then because right around the corner was Downstairs Records. And me and Les used to go to Downstairs Records together. And he'd get off after work or days that he was off. And we would go in there and we would just be buying crazy records and 45s and stuff like that. So, yeah, man. So me and Les went down there and cut our first little demos. You know what I'm saying? And
dope.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. But anyway.
It didn't pan out?
No, but we were still, yeah, we were still in the spirit of it. But going back to Tribe,
you're like a fly in the wall, and
that's what I said. That's what I said to Forrest Gump. You know what I mean?
Were you just studying what?
Absolutely, man. I was just trying to just be involved some kind of way, just like any other inspiring kid that's just hanging around. I just want to just be. In the mix in some capacity, man. Like, I'm coming from the projects every day, and I felt like every day that I left that house, I wanted to achieve something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to come back home that night or in the morning, me staying out all night, like, damn, I really made a mark by just being around this person or hung out with this person, and they let me be in the studio and just watch how they made beats and how the engineer was cutting tape and that kind of thing. I just wanted to be down, man. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, De La took to me. I got cool with Dave, Merce, Plug One.
Right.
Yeah, man. So one thing led to another. It's like, and then with the cover, it was like, yeah, I forgot who called me from Jive. It could have been Jeff Finster or one, because I was just being cool with everybody. I would meet everybody, take their business card, and just be the cool kid, and everybody knew I was down with these guys, or to some capacity, or I was hanging around. If you see them, you most likely Rashad's going to be some way there, right? So, but they called up and was like, yeah, we doing a photo shoot, and we would like you to, come through. So I'm thinking it was going to be like a group photo or something, like oh shit, I'm gonna be on the cover, or like in an insert with Tribe, or just with a goofy face on, right? Nah, they was like, no, this is this real intuitive thing where, like, you're gonna do some headshots. I'm like, huh? So I had to go in there, like in a little booth, and the guy sat my head. It was like going to a DMV, and it was like I had to sit my head, my chin on this thing, and he was like, okay, make a bunch of goofy faces. Making all these wild faces
with the headphones.
Yeah, with the headphones on. And then when the album came out, I was like, oh shit, everybody. But I knew that there was going to be more cats coming up, because I seen, what was it? Souls of Mischief. They was coming in, and then I seen Kid Capri come in, and I seen all these great people coming in. And I was like, oh, okay, so they all going to be doing the same thing. But I didn't know how this thing was going to turn out until they did. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, who came up there with me is my brother Rasan, that US3, because I was helping Rasan with his demos and him trying to learn how to rap and just making beats for him. But he didn't even do US3 at that time. He was just my hangout buddy. So I would be like, because he was working at Spike Lee's shop.
Joint, his Spike
right,
joint, yeah.
right. So and that was exactly, and that's my man. Shout out to him.
My man was song for US3. He made that Flip Fantasia record.
Bitty Bitty Bop, you know.
Well, it was like the jazz rap.
It was like a
jazz rap record.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he was like the beginning.
He was the beginning of like that
whole era.
That whole era.
He was the
whole,
first.
like Diggable Planets.
And this is my man,
Yeah.
right? And so we were childhood buddies, right? So
And the crazy thing about it is nobody knew he rapped. Like I would hang out with this guy all the time.
But he didn't really. Like
I know, but I'm just saying, like when he started seeing the video, it's like
I put him on the game.
That's him.
Yeah.
Like
So
unreal.
So the funny thing about Rasan was just there with me, and so they asked for me to come up there. So he was just an extra face. He was like, "Yo, you want to be in it too?" Rasan was like, "Nah." I was like, "Man, go ahead." He ended up making the album cover, but then blew up later after. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Wow, that's great, man." But yeah, the reason why he's on that album cover because I brought him up there with me. We were just hanging and you know.
Shout out to the boy Udi.
Yes, Udi. I see Udi. Yeah.
So you didn't actually work with Quest or Tribe at all until the remix of Lyrics to Go?
Yeah, I didn't actually do an actual beat yet for them yet, right?
You were just part of their circle.
I was just a part of the crew. Now, I was coming around during their sessions, like especially Midnight Marauders.
Yeah.
We used to, me and Large in the crew, we used to go down to Fife Basement House and meet Tip down there because Tip had his equipment down there in the early days to make beats down in Fife's mom's basement.
Oh, wow.
And we was going down there, and I never forget when Tip played me and Large Electric Relaxation. The first time he did the beat was slow. He had the beat, it was like you couldn't have, so I love how Tip did this. Tip did it like the round table committee thing again. It was like, he was like, "Yo, what y'all think about that?" I was like, "That was cool," but then Large was like, "Nah, fuck that. I think you should speed it back up." And then we was like, and we was all looking around the room at each other, and we was like, "Nah, speed that. We think you should speed it back up. You know, speed the record up." And that's what made the cut. And Tip was, but I ain't gonna front though. I kind of like the way Tip had it the first time, the slower, the slower version. But yeah, I think it was
a weird loop too. That's like
if y'all ever interview Tip, ask Tip about that. Like
Tip, come on the show. Tip, come on the show.
He had us. He know we was all down there. He was like kind of involving us with his productions. Like we was honored and flattered, man. Like, damn, this is the brotherhood. Like, yo, he got us. Letting us have some input into what he's doing. He trusted our ear like that, even at a.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway.
So like, how did Tip approach you to do the remix?
Man, I used to beg Tip to let me do shit, man. Tip will tell you. Tip. I think I seen Tip
for all 3 albums.
No. It was just later down. Like I started being around them. You know what I mean?
Didn't you do the Oh My God? Did you do the Oh My God too?
No.
No. It's just the lyrics, but it was on the same single.
Yeah. And no, Tip did that, and that joint is crazy.
Yeah. Stupid.
Yeah, Tip will tell you. Tip, I used to be, yo, man, B, I want to do something, man. Yo, I got beats. It's like, yeah, I know, I got you. I got on his nerves so much that he was like, all right, what you got? And then the Lyrics to Go remix, and this is when I'm popping off a little bit, so he's like, all right, I'll let you,
What's going on around this time? Like, what do you have under your belt?
So what year is this?
93?
No.
93?
94?
93.
It had to be 93. Okay. So what do I got going on? I don't know. I was doing so much shit.
This is probably still out of
this is like maybe the Uptown era, right?
Beginning of
a little
Bad
bit.
Boy.
No. I was tumbling dice. I was around that time. See, that's what I'm saying. We jumping around so much.
Of course, I mean.
And we're not talking about certain records, but okay, so while working with Busta, let's go back to Busta. Before we
This is Woo-Wah.
Woo-Ha.
Yeah.
Before we even did Woo Ha, now Busta, was on fire at this time. He's on jumping on everybody's remix. He's like hot commodity at this point. Like everybody needed him on a remix, right? But he did a deal. He did his own first label deal with Dallas Austin, and Dallas had Rowdy Records at the time, and he gave Busta a production deal, and he signed Rampage, The Last Boy Scout. So he had Backspin as a producer. He had me around, and he had a couple other people. The names ain't coming to me right this second, but I was doing a lot of, I'm close to Busta, so we making all these records together on for him and just in general, right? Leaders and all this stuff. And he said to me, "Yo, I want you to work with Rampage, my artist, and my family." All right, no problem. I ended up doing like half of that album, but the one that was on
Rowdy.
It never came out. You might find some of it on YouTube.
Oh wow!
Some of the outtakes and
how many songs? Like
six to seven songs.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the first one that actually did come out under that imprint was Beware of the Ramsack. Excuse me. Thank you. And it didn't do anything, but it made some noise on the mixtape shows, and he started creating a little buzz for himself because he started doing all the little underground shows and jumping up there and performing. So that's cool, and I was like, okay, Ramp had that whole situation just dispersed, and then ended up doing the Electric deal later on. And so some of those songs that I did from that record ended up on the Electra deal.
On the new album.
Yes. So and then
that's the like Wild for the Night album.
Wild for the Night, yes.
Yeah.
I came later. And and then I did a record with him and Billy Lawrence called Take It to the Streets, and then, like I said, some of the other records that was on from the Rowdy deal made it to that record.
Yeah.
So.
The people everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
and I had the dice.
Yeah. There was no pushback on that particular one, but there was some other ones.
So you had this under your belt, and you kind of had some flexing power with Q-Tip, right?
Yeah. I mean, Tip definitely. Like I said, man, Tip is my man. So he was, we were, in a good brotherhood relationship, man. It was like, yo, man, me, him, Large Pro, Juju, a bunch of us, man, Diamond, a bunch of us just going out digging, man, and just together and just finding great stuff, man.
Where was like Q-Tip at when Beats, Rhymes, and Life was being made? Because that's when like J Dilla and the Uma was being formed. Yeah,
I think when he met Dilla, I think the sound started changing a bit, and but I think that he was, I don't want to say influenced, but I just think that he loved that sound so much that it was like they were starting the Uma thing, right. And I think that everybody collectively was kind of pitching in and doing stuff together. Tip, don't get me wrong. A lot of people want to say that J Dilla did that beat. He might, I think they collectively worked on those records together.
Right.
So, because don't get it wrong, because Tip was making beats. Like Tip,
yeah.
So I don't, when I hear people saying that, like, nah, Tip was making those beats. So yeah.
So you were like around that whole time when Dilla was starting to hang out or be,
sure. Yeah.
and like working together.
I would tap in every once in a while. I wasn't around like every session or nothing like that, but yeah, so I would come around.
Being that you were in the studio for the first, second, and third album, how did the dynamic change? How did the approach to making the songs change when Dilla came into the picture?
Sounds and times and things started evolving.
Yeah.
That's a major key word, evolving. And sound started changing. So it's like the way we felt about the swing of a beat was different. Like J Dilla introduced a different non-quantizing style of beat making, right? I'm not saying he's the first, but he's probably the most, known person for it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to quantize this beat. I want this to feel like a real drummer, right? Like a real a drummer behind the set, right? So
I remember I used to study like drum patterns, like where how the kick
very
hit.
unorthodox.
And like it was like, oh, that was mostly the drums were a 4-bar loop. Sometimes they'd be an 8-bar. If they were really impressive, they'd be a 16-bar drum loop, right? And I remember on the Beats, Rhymes, and Life, I was like, some of these songs, I was like, I don't hear a loop. The drums keep changing throughout the whole
right.
song.
And I think that's what Jay Dilla brung to the Uma.
Yeah.
Right. He brung a skill set to the table that the world needed to hear, and I think that's. That was great for Dilla to be a part of Tribe and the Uma because, that was his way into the world, right? Like on a major scale. You know what I'm saying? Whether I don't know what their differences were later. You always hear the campfire talks about there was some internal something going on, but I didn't never listen to that because I knew better. It's like you got to look at it like Dilla definitely. That was a stepping stone for him. You know what I'm saying? And which was great. He was working with Busta, he was working with Tribe, and then other things came in because of that.
Yeah.
De La, which is great.
What was your contribution to the Hop, the song?
Oh, I just did the record.
You did the whole record?
Yeah. The whole record, not the whole record in terms of the album, just that song. I produced that song.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I did the beat. Again, that was another me begging the tip. I want to get on. I just gave him the beat.
Was that beat was already ready?
Oh yeah.
So did you play Tip like a beat tape?
Yeah, I played it for him. I just gave him that tape. I just gave him a single tape with that song on there only, and he lost his shit.
Oh, it was only that song?
Just that beat on there.
Okay, I was gonna ask if there was like.
Multiple
how many songs?
beats?
Yeah.
No, I didn't do another. I didn't play myself and do another Biggie situation. I didn't do that. I learned my lesson on that one, man. I was like, nah, that's not gonna happen.
So when
again.
you heard that, you were like, this is exactly for them.
Yeah. Oh no, I thought it. I mean, when you listen to the track, it sounds.
I was gonna say
it screams Tribe.
Yeah. Well, even the snare sounds. Right?
Yeah.
It's like it matches the same snare sound.
It was frequency wise. And that's a key word when we get further into our conversation. Frequency. It meshed really well with the rest of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just because I heard a few songs on the direction where they were going, so that's why I had kind of a guideline to. They were on. And this beat would be perfect, but yeah, it just flowed so well.
So,
you know what I mean?
Did you have that beat already done, or you made that for them?
I mean, I had that done already, but I just kind of added on a little bit, with the right, because I only had like one drum that I had chopped up under it, but then I programmed a little bit more just to kind of round it out a little bit to kind of
because you were hearing what they were doing.
And Dilla's a beast. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I had to match that energy, man. Point blank.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't never compare myself to him, but yeah, he's a monster. I was just like, I just need to come in with something that would be a little bit more.
It is like maybe one of the more energetic tracks in the whole album, though.
Okay,
the way it hits.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, it does stand out.
Yeah.
So you
well, I mean, if you read the credit, I'm the only one. I'm the only one that got credited. Everything else says produced by Uma, but except
the Hop.
The Hop, right?
How did that feel? Finally getting a record on a Tribe Called Quest album.
Oh man, I was jumping for joy, man. That's like the biggest badge of honor you can have, man.
Yeah.
Next to Rakim. That's I'm not saying that LL wasn't either. LL is one of my favorite MCs of all time, right?
Yeah.
But I just it was just great. It was just because these guys I would listen to more anyway, right? And so I was just like, oh man, if one day I can, you know what I mean, be on their album, it was incredible. But,
So I have a question. Like, you did MC Light's Cold Rock a Party. You did multiple tracks on her album, right?
Half of the album, yeah.
And Cold Rock the Party was Missy Elliott and Puffy. Obviously, it was a Diana Ross sample.
Shout out to D-Dot, Derek Angeletti, yes.
Wait, why you shouting out D-Dot?
Because D-Dot did the record. D-Dot did that version.
Oh,
I did the original.
Oh, you did the original.
Yes.
Okay, I was asking if what do you call it? If you were part of the remix at all.
No.
No, not at all.
But I get paid from it.
Same single, right? Yeah.
Yo, so I'm good. Just like Who Do You Love?
Yeah.
I get paid from it. Not Trackmasters. I get paid
You
from
know, it's
it.
another thing too, being that you brought that up, you did the lounging beat for LL. And you know, Big ended up using that in his shows.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I don't think that was anything towards me.
No. But he really wanted to use that beat.
Yeah, and that's
what did he use that song?
Night and Day. He used to use that for his shows.
What was he rapping over it?
What was that? I think it was Me and My Bitch.
Yeah, but live.
But live.
Yeah.
But he did that before the Computer Love?
Yeah, he did it like switch off.
Yeah, he would switch off. Yeah, he would do both. He would do both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you know, back then, you had to be a real good DJ. Everybody looks at that Big Cap thing. That wasn't. We all know that wasn't. You know, rest in peace, Big Cap. That wasn't Big Cap's fault at all. But
it kind of was.
Okay.
I love Cap, but I know
Rest in
information.
peace.
I know information.
All right. Yeah. See, that's it.
His records warped. So it was
because of the sun.
Because of the sun. But Big Cap didn't keep his records together, and his shit was always
Yeah.
You know, because I used to work in a record shop, so
of
he
course,
used to come there and always buy. Yo, what happened to your records? Yo, son, you know, I spilled champagne on the tunnel yesterday.
Right.
But
his records used to be a mess.
Yeah.
And there was one record where it was 45 King, where he's playing the 45 King. This is a special record because
I see his face in my mind right now as we talk.
They had one that was on 45. That was the original joint.
Yeah.
And then they had like a booty that came out on 33. So you could see where he throwing the next record and he's got it on the wrong speed.
Yeah. But anyway, my point by bringing that up is that you need
Goldie.
Yo, yeah, you needed to
keep it real.
you needed to really be on point back then, man, with that shit. You getting that record thrown at you.
Damn, Goldie.
Yeah, man.
It's do Cap like that.
Yeah.
Nah, Cap's my man.
No, we not. Nah, Cap is it. That was our brother, man.
Hey, what happened with the Nas If I Ruled the World record? What was your part
involvement
in that? Yeah.
Steve stopped.
Another
we was at Chung King Studios. This is around the time when he was still so-called managing me. He pulled me to the side. Now, this is what I didn't understand. Why didn't you just go to Poke and Tone first if they're your clients, right? But he came to me and said, "Hey, man, I want you to chop up this record." And it was, If I Ruled the World is Steve Stout's idea initially, right? It's his idea. He said, "I want that." Was it One Love? What?
No.
Friends by Houdini, the great Larry Smith. He said, "Yo, I need you to chop this record up and bring it," and that's what I did. Right, brought the record up. And I know after I laid it down, I guess I thought I was solely producing it. So now when you ask me what happened is because you're asking about what you see as the credits, right? How it reads, right?
It's produced by Trackmasters.
Okay, so let me explain that.
But you did get credit on it. Yes?
I got credit on it later because I had to fight for it.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened after I laid it down. It sounded like there was some extra programming on it, but does that justify me not getting credited for it? That's the argument, right? But yeah, it's just later down the road, the album comes out and it says produced by Trackmasters. So me and my lawyers made a stink about it, and yeah, we had to fix that.
And at that point, you can kind of do it.
Sure.
So you did the programming and you looped the beat and you did the drums.
Yeah. But then there was extra stuff that was put on top of it. right? So
Right. I mean, the
I
track
already
master-
know. I already
yeah.
know that was Polk, because Polk is an incredible. You know, I don't like to downplay anybody's line of work, but I you know, because I don't want to say this and then he's saying, well, I do more than that, but a great programmer, drum programmer, and that's why Puff came to him at this time. You know, he was like, yo, I need you to come flip these drums. I need you to flip this in there for me. You know what I'm saying? He was like, they used to call him the finisher. Like he would come in and just make the shit sound bigger and brighter, right?
Yeah.
And so, again, with If I Ruled the World, I don't know what else was done. I wasn't there, and I didn't mix the record, but I can tell you that I definitely, you know.
Yeah. But it has those signature like
the scratches,
the drum scratches that
yeah.
Trackmasters uses.
Yeah,
on every
That was definitely one of the pads that was in the standard kid arsenal when they're starting to make beats. Yeah, of course.
Into the beat.
But you know me, all the records I produced, if you heard any scratching on it or cuts, that's me.
That's him.
I did. I took pride into that as a DJ. I had to put the cuts on my own records.
Right.
Now there's one situation where me and Mo B traded off.
Easy Mo B?
Easy Mo B. Shout out to Easy Mo B.
What was that?
So, Making Moves with Puff. No, is it Making? Yeah, Making Moves with Puff.
Mm-hmm. That was the Craig Mack record.
Yes.
Yeah.
But guess what? Mo B, because I did it at first, but then I didn't like how my cuts were sounding. Mo B did that. But then I was at his session for Get Down.
Oh, wow.
And I ended up putting the scratches on his record.
Really?
Mo B don't need nobody to do shit for him. He's a soldier, so he can do everything himself. Like Mo B don't need no help. That man, to me, in my eyes, is the older Sheck, as I call him, the older God. That's my big brother. That's the guy that really, and for Brooklyn nights.
Oh yeah.
You know, if after Fresh Gordon, you know, the Mo B, Howie T, Mo B is like,
indeed, definitely.
and him and his brother. Shout out to his brother too.
LG.
Incredible producers. Like those are like, especially you came from the projects. That was like they the heroes. I'm a hell of a guy, Mo B. You already know what it is. Come on, man. But yeah. So yeah, that's that, man. But
it seems like there's like it's such a like small community. Mm-hmm. Everyone's helping each other.
Yeah.
Everyone's like a part.
Like Pete Rock and Large Pro's relationship.
Yeah.
You know, they always hand in hand. They you know, they brothers, so they always was, you know, at each other's session or come to each other's house and come visit each other and talk about records, and you know, that's the brotherhood. That's what I was talking about. That's why I was saying, like, even with me with at one point trying to be down with Trackmasters, you know, I didn't understand where the decline was or where the disconnect was. It was just like, okay, cool. You know?
So like if I Ruled the World, you made the beat, the initial beat, like you weren't in the recording session with Lauryn Hill or Nas, right?
No.
But I'm kind of wondering, were there just so many sessions? Was it hard to keep track of who
I mean, you got to think too. I mean,
what?
even not that. No, I mean, people know who did what at this time. Come on, it's just like, come on. It's we all know who did what, but the problem is if you feel like you want to credit somebody properly the way they should be credited, that's the real answer. Or I mean, the real question, right?
Right.
So,
because in my head, if I was like Trackmasters, Poke and Tone, and I heard, you know, we were working on If I Ruled the World, I might have called.
Shout out to Kirk Gowdy, man. Kirk Gowdy is another hero in this game to me, that, you know, produced a lot of records with Trackmasters, and you might not know his name necessarily, but he went on to do bigger and better things too. Like he worked with 50 Cent. 50 Cent loves this guy.
Yeah.
As a producer, and
you worked with 50 Cent too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Before the shooting, right?
Yeah, So if you want to jump into that, yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask. Like, I only asked this because I would have thought if I knew, you know, Rashad did the beat, and we finished the track with Nas and Lauryn Hill, I would have called you and been like, "Yo, we just finished this joint."
That goes to show you. I mean, I don't have to make any comment about that. That just goes to show you the mentality of what it was back then, right? Like, I'm not mad at this point. You know, people act and be the way they are at a time, you know, and. To be honest with you, I think it's more maturity. It's more maturity. It's like now that I'm, you know, a mature man,
right.
I can understand things now for what it is.
But y'all was so young too at the time, right?
Back then, it's a lot of arrogance. It's a lot of competition. There's a lot of things that might not necessarily make sense now. But, you know, back then, it's like, you know, it was like, no, fuck this guy. I don't need him. I mean, whatever. You know, it's like
yeah.
The Rashad now back then wouldn't have act like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, sometimes we got to grow and learn. But again, everything that ever happened in my life at that time, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Whether if it was bad or good. You know, it's just I'm not mad at it because it's a learning thing, right? And it's you evolving as an adult.
It's so crazy because like y'all was so young making these like hit records. It's like we forget that.
I never was arrogant too either, man. I just never had the poke your chest out attitude. Never in my life. I never did, man. I never thought. Maybe that's why I didn't become a household name, and that's why I am the silent drum, right? Because I didn't care about that. At one point, I did. Like, I'll give you a little story, right? So, I never forget when I first started tumbling dice, right? And I was trying to get myself out there and trying to find ways to market myself. I never forget back then when you were young, you was trying to come up, you was getting the Billboard, and you was always trying to see who's charting and who was doing anything, right? And I never forget that. If you had money, you was making money back then, you would just get yourself and you would buy yourself a full-page ad in any kind of publication, right? I seen Trackmasters was with their Beamers sitting under the Brooklyn Bridge, and
I remember that.
You remember that? Remember
I
that?
remember that
It was a full-page ad, and they was sitting up in front, up under the bridge, and they was folding their arms, and they, you know what I'm saying, and they was like, coming soon, Trackmasters, produced da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, fuck, I should do that shit too. But I wasn't thinking like that. I didn't make the step. Because I felt like if I would have did that, I felt like I could have helped Laura in some more work.
Right.
Instead of just going through the word on the street kind of vibe, or just word of mouth. And I felt like I fucked up from that point on because I didn't really understand. I didn't have a publicist. I didn't even know where to get one from. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I could have asked that all the labels that I was involved with at the time, hey, can you show me how to do this? I got a couple of dollars. Can you just help me get into this ad? Can you help me do this? I just didn't know. I heard, I did ask how much something like that cost, that what Trackmasters just did to get inside of the Billboard, and it was like, oh, it's like $5,000. Oh shit, I got that saved up in a little shoebox. Why don't I go do that? But I wasn't thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just learned to live with building myself up organically, but I just felt like I didn't adapt that one tool I didn't incorporate that one tool into my production venture, my I don't know, moving forward in the game to say this is what's going to help me go even big time and become a household name.
Right.
So I used to kick myself and blame myself for that and say, damn man, only if I would have just done that,
But it's also like Tone, Red Hot Lover Tone. He was a rapper.
Sure.
So I feel like he already had that kind of marketing sense early on as a rapper to do that.
Perhaps, but
whereas like a producer, you don't really kind of see that unless you're part of a group or like it
didn't really start happening until like after the 2000s. Like the super producer became household face, a household name.
Nah, I think
type of thing.
I think it happened in the 90s, you know?
Yeah, but it was more like if you had the Puffs, he was like the mogul. So he could portray himself as the super producer and I'm the Quincy Jones of this. There wasn't too many of those people in the 90s like that.
Yeah, from like a young consumer, I would say it was like Pete Rock, Premier, like getting those scratches, getting those like ad-libs in there, and then being like, oh shit. And you look forward to a Pete Rock remix. And then just like working outside of a group, because everyone kind of stayed in
very
their
close.
circle.
Yeah, very close knit.
You know,
right.
it wasn't like any like Tribe Called Quest first 3 albums where like they were working with multiple producers. It was unheard of. It wasn't until Illmatic.
No, they were very
It kind of changed after Illmatic. Yeah, you're right.
After Illmatic, you know, that was the changing point. That was like maybe like LeBron and like the Miami Heat when he like created his super group. You know,
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nas, when you say Nas now, like even in the beginning of his career, man, I was around. I was there. Like I said, I was a part of the
main source live at the barbecue and shopping his deal.
Well, yeah, help going, running around the streets, jumping on the train and going to different labels and trying to figure out a deal. And then halftime came, and then I remember I was in the studio for halftime, me being in the background, making all the noises and being on the chorus of that, and watching Large make the beat for halftime. Man,
and he used to hang out with Biz.
Yeah. Biz, man. Biz is like really one of my best friends in this business, man. Also, and I miss that dude because he
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to Biz. Shout out to Tara. Biz is another person. I did production for Biz as well. Especially on that album that got taken off the
Haircut.
Yeah, I did Haircut. I did a song on Haircut, and I did a song on All Samples Cleared. And I was just around him, you know what I mean? Like he put me up on game. Like I met Biz. Biz knew me since I was like 13 years old.
Wow.
And yeah, man, I used to always see him at Downstairs Records, and always just being goofy and looking for beats and jumping back on the train together, trying to get something to eat. Seeing him at Albee Square Mall. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's such a small community.
Yeah. It wasn't a lot of people actually doing that, and actually, you really think about it, it was 6 degrees of separation. It wasn't even that, maybe like 3.
But I mean, it sounds like Rashad sounds like you were like outside all the time. Like you were just kind of like
I didn't want
to
stay in the house, man.
Yeah. So when you were outside, it seems like you were like kind of in the beginning stages of every great artist, great producer.
Yeah, Forrest Gump.
Beginning stages.
Again, Forrest Gump, man.
So I want to circle back to like 50 Cent.
Oh wow, yeah.
You produced before
Thug Love.
Yeah, Thug Love. But the interesting thing about that track is in the beginning of the.
He says Trackmasters.
He says Trackmasters in the beginning of that song.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. I'll put it this way, man. Trackmasters had nothing to do with that record.
Wow.
He's part of their production.
He was a part of their production company. That's why he said Trackmasters. Yeah. And I also believe that 50 thought that they did that beat as well. Because when he got the track, it filtered out through them. Okay, my manager at the time gave it to Poke and Tone, right?
But this is after
50 is pretty much Trackmasters artist at that point.
Right.
So everything that would be pertaining to 50 Cent would kind of go through them.
Yes. So that's why the impression was
that they did the beat.
They did the beat.
Because they do beats.
Right.
Not knowing that.
But this is like what, 99, 2000?
Probably so, yeah. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, 99, 2000.
Yeah, I need to take a little bit more vitamins, man.
No.
I'm playing.
No, but at this point, it's like years after kind of your separation, right?
From
just being cool or with Steve Stout and possibly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, it wasn't no love loss between me and that.
Okay. It's like business.
It's just business, man. I never thought it was anything personal. I just think that it was just more of competition and just more of a snooty kind of thing. Not competition. You know, that's all it is, right? So, but it wasn't nothing personal, because if it was personal, I wouldn't be talking to them up to this day. If I've seen them, it wouldn't be nothing.
It's just confusing from from an outside looking in perspective.
Of course, that's what it looks like, right?
Because when I hear well, why would if there's a falling out, even business wise, why would Trackmasters even use a Rashad beat for their artists?
Again, it's maturity, man.
Yeah.
It's really about learning how to be mature, man. You just have some things you just gotta let go. And if I don't like you, but you make great music, I have an artist, why would I not still be cool with you to get that beat out of you? You know, you see what I'm saying? It's
business is still a business.
Business is business, man.
Yeah.
It's the bottom line too, right?
Yeah, I got a store, but I'm the only person on the block that sells fucking almond milk, you know, and that's all you need to have for yourself to, you know, to drink or whatever, for whatever you trying to. What you gonna say? Well, fuck this motherfucker, but I need to go in there and still go get. You still gonna come in the store and get the shit. You gonna find a way to still get it, or you gonna send somebody else to get it, right? But you want it. I'm the only person within the 10-mile radius that has the shit. So anyway, I whatever. It might be a bad analogy, but
no,
whatever.
it makes sense.
But you know,
but at some point, you know, because when you start, it's all about the creativity. It's the talent. It's like nurturing your talents. Mm-hmm. It's like seeing how far you could take it, how much you could learn, how much you could execute.
Right.
And then at what point does the politics and the game just start wearing down on you, where you don't want to like work in the industry anymore? Does that ever happen?
It did happen a couple of times. That's just like how people say writer's block, or just, you know, fell out of love of, you know, and that's it. I guess that's around the time too when Nas started talking about I fell out of love of hip hop and all this type of shit. But I don't know, man. I guess I don't think it's had anything to really do with the music, because I know in the 2000s music started really changing, right? For us so-called producers that was sampling heavy, that phased out at a certain time. But see, the thing with me and a lot of other producers too, knew how to be musicians also, and knew how to not just use samples. Like, it was at a point with samples, which was fucking crazy to me, wasn't cool, right? Like, you make, as they called them, keyboard beats, right? Everybody was making the keyboard beats.
It's when the Triton came into play, right?
So Swiss beats, you know.
That was the turning point. It was the Triton.
Yeah, I can't say Timbaland, because Timbaland was sampling, but he was just more clever with it. You know, he wasn't looping anything or chopping. He was chopping, but he was taking little pieces and assembling them, right? And making a composition. But yeah, you had a lot of producers. Like, you had Rockwaller, you had Swiss, you had, oh my gosh, man, there's so many to name. But I'm not taking nothing away from those guys. I salute and shout out to those guys. I'm just saying that they were running the shit at this point, because it was just like, what else now with simplicity that we can do and make it sound funky at the same time, and you know, and people just was getting tired of fucking clearing samples, and it was just easier. Hey, we could just chop up some shit, play some shit real quick, and shit become a hit, right? So I love that too, but it just changed. But for me, I just was like, I just kind of fell out of it a bit, because I was like, you know, things just started sounding a little the same to me after a while too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying the Swisses and the Rockwallers and the other people that I'm thinking of. I'm just saying you just had the other cookie cutter guys that was just trying to come in and trying to make beats like these, like the pros that they are. Right?
It became more.
It was just too much. Yes. It wasn't fly to me no more. I was like, I would rather listen to Swiss and listen to the Rockwallers and other people. You know, I want to hear more from them, and how they can take the keyboard or whatever and play some shit and make some dope shit. But it was like everybody was just doing some shit, and then it was like, it was no room for me to kind of come in and like do what I like to do, because it was just shit. I wasn't going to try to copy or make beats just because that's what was going on right now. I didn't want to do that. So I just kept listening to, now it was considered underground. Like, the Pete Rocks is still doing their thing, the Large Pros, the Q-Tips, you know, the J Dillas. You know what I'm saying? It's like now I'm concentrating on just listening to them because that was a safe zone for me.
Yeah.
In terms of what I really loved in music, you know. So, no.
When the Young G's record with Biggie,
Sure.
when that came out later, how much of that was different from the original?
The original was hard.
Thank you.
The
So
original was tough.
So the original, me and Big went into the studio. Puff was supposed to be there, but he couldn't make it, and we knocked it out one take, and we just left.
I love the fact that you got back in with him.
Right. So check it out. So, no, I didn't get with him. That's before.
That's really?
Yeah, before the second album. So yeah.
That's what that was kind of left on ice, right?
It was left on ice. So let me tell you what that was.
Because it didn't come
There's
out.
a song.
It didn't come out until
hold
97.
on. Let me
No Way Out.
Let me explain it.
So Puff solo.
Let me explain what that record was. When I first did that beat, it was for a remix for Craig Mack's When God Comes. I laid the beat down, Puff heard the beat and loved it, gave me a deposit, and said, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but Craig is on it, and he was trying to get Big on it. Right? Craig Mack laid a new verse on there and everything. When God Comes. This really listen to this story, and you know the original one, the original copy of it, right? I mean the original demo. So we just muted Craig's. We didn't erase Craig's vocal on it because it's on tape. So we just left it and we just muted his. And Big, Puff didn't like that for the remix. He didn't think that was good. But Big heard that beat because they gave it to Big for him because he wanted Big on that remix anyway.
Right.
But Big didn't like Craig on that shit. He was like, yo, I need that beat. Give me that fucking beat. So he was like, yo, come in the studio. I'm going to lay a verse to it. Did it. One take. Big leave the studio. No, Big didn't leave. I'm sorry. I don't want to say nothing cap. So Big was there. He was still in the vocal booth. I played it for him over the phone to Puff. Puff listened to it. Puff said, I don't like that record. I don't like what Big did on it.
What?
He said I don't like that. I don't like that. He said it sound cool, but I don't like it. Never came out. That's why it never came out.
Wow.
All
Really?
Right? Never came out. I'm the only person that ever left out the studio with a cassette tape to it. We didn't even make one for Puff. He didn't like it. He just didn't like it. I gave a copy of that to Clue. That's how Clue.
That's how he played on this.
That's how he played it. I gave
Give me the money. Show me the money.
Right. I made a copy and I gave it to Clue.
You did that intentionally?
Yeah.
Knowing that, what was
No, it was all good. You know, back then it was like whatever. Fuck it. We was gonna play it.
And because you thought this shit.
I thought this shit is incredible to me.
So I'm gonna leak it.
Fuck yeah. All right. So cool.
Unreal.
If you ever listen to that demo, it's online. You'll hear 80 cents I gave her rentals, and from a Young G's perspective, and I'm cutting up, and I'm cutting up. He can't take it no more, and I kept cutting it. And then if you keep listening to it, you hear Craig Mike's got this.
Wow.
It leaked out because so it spread out on 24 tracks. We thought everything was pulled down. So when we're going to cassette tape, one of the flies on Craig Mack's vocals leaked out, and then we pulled it back down while we were making the tape. So that's why when you listen to that demo, you hear Craig Mack voice in there.
Wow.
Because that was it. So that's the shit behind that song. That demo. Yeah.
That's insane, yo.
Yeah, but Puff didn't like that.
He didn't like it.
He probably gonna get mad at, but Puff, I'm sorry. If you watch this or hear this, but I'm just keeping it 100, man. It ain't, So you didn't like it,
So
it's
when
all
it
good.
leaked.
So when so moving forward, he passes away.
You give it to Clue, right?
Yes.
What did Clue do? What did
Who put that shit on a mixtape?
Put it on mixtape.
Yeah, but like, what did he like? Did he like kind of lace you with some dough, or was it just like, yo, just put it out?
Nah,
He did his job.
People wasn't paying for no shit. You gave it to. Look, it's an honor to give somebody at his stature
Yeah,
anything. Like you, like, oh shit.
but that's an exclusive, right?
Super exclusive.
Super exclusive, and Big was cool with that, or Big didn't know either.
I know when it hit the streets, it was a big deal.
Man. So anyway,
Wait. So, there was no flack after that.
no, I didn't get no flack from it.
Puff wasn't pissed. Big wasn't pissed.
No. So
And then, but you're credited in the No Way Out,
I had to because I
Yeah.
produced the record.
right?
So here's the thing.
But you still have this falling out with Puff, right? He's not, did you guys speak again when he was creating that album?
But that's after. That's when we going towards the second album.
Right.
So all that stuff that I spoke about earlier, that's later. You understand? So yeah. I know because we jump in timelines. That's why.
No,
that's
it's
why.
cool.
That's
No,
why it might not make sense. You know what I'm saying?
I get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
this was recorded before you're falling out with Big.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then No Way Out came out after Big's passing, right?
Right. So we got I mean, after Big died, and then so now he looking for songs to put on the record, and he's working on the album. The album sounding dope. It's shaping, and we always knew that record was just in the vault. So he's
So, but you and Puff cleared the air by that time.
Yeah, we good.
Right.
Yeah, we good. Yeah, we had to, man. It's like, come on.
And so you brought that back on the table.
He brought it back on the table. He had it in his vault. I didn't own the tapes. He owned the tape, and he said, "Listen, let's put this record back out." And yeah, then we had to do the paperwork and everything, and that was that.
That was interesting because I think DITC came out with a version,
Yeah.
right? At the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was almost the same time when it came out.
I know exactly where you're going with this. Go ahead, come on, let's get to it.
So, of course, my perspective is as a consumer.
Sure.
When I think I heard the DITC first because I didn't hear the freestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard the Young G's on the album of No Way Out,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, they bit that sample from DITC.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't hear. I never heard the DITC joint around that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Around the time when I was working on that beat. It was on the street that I bit that beat. I can clear this up and say I didn't take any sample from them, or I didn't bite any sample.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
I didn't hear them and say, "Oh, I'm going to use it." Sometimes with samples we don't own the sample. Everybody can have it. It wasn't like it was just one copy of that sample made, record made.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
So we all kind of striving for the same thing. So
So it just probably could have been a situation that
we caught a vibe.
they just basically kind of put that jacket on Puff because
But-
maybe he had that.
Again, he's the shiny suit man, right? And he's more polished, and I'm over here in this camp, and they know me, and I'm cool with them, and you can see how that looks, right? It looks like you over here with this dude, and you doing this, and we over here and we doing this, and maybe I should have known not to use it, or maybe they thought I knew they used it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was at that time it was so much stuff going on that was. I didn't feel attacked about it. It just felt like it was, it was some side-eyed stuff going on, right? And so like.
Well, it's interesting too because it's like two polar opposite sides of the spectrum in the hip hop world, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like DITC,
Man.
and then there's like
Showbiz, shout out.
Yeah.
AG, shout out. Diamond D, shout out. Lord Finesse, my brother.
Yeah.
Shout out. Everybody. Fat Joe's, my brother. You know what I'm saying? All of them. But Let me tell you something, man. Buying records back in the days as a producer in the 90s was like we were all drug dealers with work. Work meaning we had them cracks in our pocket and we on the block. We can't sell on each other block, bro. It's just, it don't work. You know what I'm saying? We all got that work, and it's the same shit. It's like, nah, we can't do that. If I got to work first, that customer come up to me, if I see it, that's me. You know what I'm saying? But it was really bad, man, because I remember the joke used to be, and other producers used to laugh amongst, we used to laugh amongst each other and say, like, let's say, Impeach the President. I'm just going to use one record. Impeach the President.
Right.
Nobody knows about it, but then if you find it, and I'm standing next to you, nah, you can't use that because, Pete Rock. I was going to use that, but Pete Rock going to use it, and then you go and do it. That's violation. You see what I'm saying? So it was a lot of that kind of stuff going on, and.
You felt that was happening with the Young G's when it came out in '97 with Puff?
Well, I felt like with the Young G situation, I felt like I was in a crossroad of something that I didn't really understand, because I just felt like we both knew about the sample at the same time, which happens, right? Like, we all know about samples at the same time, but nobody told me that they was going to use it. Nobody from the camp said that, we getting ready to use that, so please do not disrespect and go and use it over there. Nobody can't say that. But because it came out, I think around the same time, right?
Well, it was released at the same time, but the actual Young G's was out maybe like a year prior.
So I didn't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I didn't steal nobody's idea at all. So I didn't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of that kind of them kind of talks, but we all look in as older gentlemen, and we laugh about it now and say, yo, man, we was kids, man, and we love each other, man. At the end of the day, bro, like it's a lot of love and respect.
There's just so much history that everyone's involved in, and everyone's like overlapping in each other's story.
But that's
so
what
much,
it is, man. It's like this whole industry is a big high school, and at the cafeteria, man. It's like we all talking, we fighting, we love each other, we, you know what I'm saying?
And y'all was so young too.
Yeah.
There was so much high stakes at such a young age, and
because there was a lot of money on the table. Everybody was fighting to try to really
make space for each other.
Yeah, and make a name for themselves, So it's like, I get it. That's why I said I love the era I came up in, and learning how to just, because you had to get scars, in this thing, man. Like, it's we all fighting for the same thing, but it's just sometimes back then we just wasn't mature enough to conduct ourselves in a more mature manner to say, like, nah, we're not gonna shoot each other, we're not gonna fight each other, we ain't gonna, we're gonna say, all right, cool. I was always viewing it as, when you looked at albums back then and you seen musicians collaborating with each other, I don't know, Quincy Jones collaborating with Rod Templeton, or this musician collaborating with this one. No one was fighting over a composition or anything. It wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? It was love. It was like, yo, let's work together. Let's put something. But in hip hop, we all pit bulls in one room trying to bite each other's fucking ear off, man. It's crazy, bro.
In the beginning of the recording, you said 2 of your favorite records.
Well, it was Don't Sweat the Technique. 2 of my favorite recordings that use jazz samples. That's what we were talking about.
Was Woo-Ha.
Woo-Ha.
And Don't Sweat the Technique.
Sweat the Technique, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you look back at your entire career and you look back on it, what was, to you, your favorite moment?
In my career?
Yeah.
Oh, me working with Craig Cowman over at Atlantic Records for the Space Jam soundtrack. that was when I felt really like
Appreciate it.
yeah, and I got paid very well, and I was now I'm entering a world of people that, man, I always probably imagine to be around and to just have conversations with and learn how things work, how the soundtracks work on this level, and how getting sent the tapes to view the scenes to come up with the music for. It's like I felt I felt like family with with this whole process, right? So
so you were called on to do the soundtrack, like the movie soundtrack.
Yeah, I was a part of the process of it through my friend Dominic Trenier, which he was another executive producer. See, Dom moved into more of the executive, the executive game at that point, right? So he stopped being a singer, but he knew everybody. And so
later on became the manager of D'Angelo and label head over there,
Mark Ronson, and Nikki Costa,
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a slew of soundtracks under your belt.
Oh, it never stops.
Yeah. Is that currently what you focus on?
Yeah.
With production?
I still well, that and film.
And film.
Yeah.
And then you're still doing, going out and touring. Erica
with Miss Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, we're already at like 4 hours, which is insane.
Yeah, no, it don't stop, bro.
But
we still haven't even touched the surface yet.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Well,
we might have to have you come back on.
It's all good.
One of these days.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Whenever as we say, inshallah, in the future. Yeah.
But I definitely want to hear. Please, I want to hear more about the documentary you're working on. With
Larry Smith.
Yeah,
the great Larry Smith.
Please keep us
That
updated
is the wizard, like from the Wiz. I always frame it this way. I said, Larry Smith is the wizard, Run DMC is the scarecrow, Houdini is the lion, Curtis Blow is the Tin Man. So everybody goes to go see the wizard.
That's crazy.
And the story, every group has their journey as they're going to go see the wizard, and that's what's happening in the docuseries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rashad Smith.
Yo, man, we're on it, man, because you haven't been on any of these joints.
No, I don't do them. I don't do them, man.
We appreciate it, brother.
It's really honored to have you on.
Thank you. I appreciate
and
you.
hopefully we could, revisit this and have you come back on.
Absolutely.
And a big shout to you. Your son being here, sitting through the whole 4 hours. I gotta applaud you for that.
Yeah.
Tumbling dice, man.
Tumbling dice, and hopefully we'll get some hoodies from you.
Oh yeah. I got the merch. I got the merch coming on tumblindice.com.
I'm feeling that hoodie right there.
Thank you. Or RashadSmith.com.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
let
you.
me know. Let us
you.
know.
Yeah, you can let you peep it out. And then as you can see, I'm sorry.
Ooh, that's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, get that crab, big. Get that crab.
Yeah. So it's all good. You know what I mean?
Rashad Smith, thank you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.